want to challenge you to do today is to simplify your business into three types of offers. These are going to be wide offers, deep offers, and long offers.
You're listening to the 7-Figure Leap podcast. We're here to leverage rich relationships and smart strategies to take your business to the next level. Here's your host, Dustin Rieckman.
You only need 3 offers to have a 7-figure business. I'm Dustin Rieckman, and I'm excited to break this down for you, show you a lot of examples of the types of offers that you could have in your coaching or consulting business, and give you an inside peek into exactly how these will support your goals for growth. So we recently had our 7-Figure Leap Mastermind retreat, and the theme of the retreat overall was simplicity scales. I'm pulling out for you some of the key lessons from this and some of the biggest insights from our mastermind room. And I want to start here with offers, because I feel like offers is the sort of perpetual problem in a creator business. I think we tend to overcomplicate offers, we overthink them, we confuse our market because we have too many offers and they don't fit together. So what I want to challenge you to do today is to simplify your business into 3 types of offers. These are going to be wide offers, deep offers, and long offers. Another way that you may hear these referenced is a front-end offer, a core offer, and a continuity offer. But I really like the wide, deep, and long because it's really descriptive of the function that these offers play in your business overall. So let's dive into each of these 3 types and give you lots of examples. And then I will give a recap talking about how these play into my own 7-figure business here at 7-Figure Leap. So the wide offer, this may be thought of as like the top of funnel. Again, the front end offer. This is typically going to be an offer that is on the lower end of the cost range, right? From $1, maybe up to $200, $250. That's going to be your wide offer. The point of the wide offer is to create customers, right? So this is typically going to be the first interaction someone has when they pull out a credit card and they say, I actually want to invest in you and this thing that you teach. So some examples of a wide or front end offer would be a book. I think a book is probably the best front end offer. If you can have the discipline to create one and create a really good book. Obviously a book is typically $15, $20. It's going to be a DIY or do-it-yourself sort of experience. And so you can think of someone buying your book. They now have invested in you. They are getting educated on the way that you see the world and the problem that you solve. They've effectively raised their hand and said, this is something I want to know more about, but they're not yet investing in a deep way, and they're not necessarily having personal interaction with you. So other examples, though, of a wide offer would be things like a paid workshop or a 3-day challenge, or if you're in consulting, it could be an audit, it could be a course, it could be a simple worksheet, right? These are all DIY, low commitment offers, but they are transactions, and that's really important, right? A wide offer, a front-end offer is not a free offer. A lead magnet, a free piece of value, even a free call doesn't qualify as a wide offer, because to be an offer, it should be something that is paid. So what's the function of a wide offer? It is, as I said earlier, to create customers, right? No one, except maybe James Clear and a few other examples, pretty much no one actually makes money or substantial money in a business with their wide offer. The whole point of it is to gain attention and convert people into customers. So that's offer number 1 is a wide offer. Number 2 is a deep offer. So this is, as the name would imply, the offer that is actually going to provide the deeper transformation for your clients. Again, this may be referenced as a core offer, the flagship offer. Like this is the thing that your offer or that your business is typically going to be known for. This is often going to be more of a done with you type of offer, maybe a done for you, depending on the type of business that you run. So it's going to get past the DIY and it's going to actually have some interaction with you or your company, and it's going to provide that core transformation that we really want for our clients. So, what are some examples of a deep offer? Coaching. So, one on one coaching, if that's your model, group coaching, cohort based coaching, the actual consulting engagement, if you're a consultant. It could be services, right? So, if you're an agency and you do done for you marketing services or financial services, that's your core offer. So, if someone said, "Hey, what do you guys do in your business?" and you're somewhat established, this is probably going to be the default answer, right? Like, this is what we do, this is what we're known for. It could be like a VIP day. It could be a conference, an event. If you're a paid speaker, it could be your signature keynote, but this is like the thing that you do. So the deep offer, the function of it is money, right? It is cash. It is the thing that is going to be the predominant income source for your business. The final offer in this simple stack is a long offer, also known as a continuity offer, right? So this is an ongoing, recurring transaction where you can serve people for a longer time. So some examples of a long offer, maybe a membership or a mastermind or a subscription or consulting as a service, right? A retainer, a contract, it could be insurance, right? If that's the type of industry that you're in, it could be ongoing support, it could be certification in a coaching world, licensing. So these are all things that people buy once up front, but then they continue to purchase for ongoing support over a long time, right? And so the function of a continuity or a long offer is consistency in your business, right? The idea here is I will get paid repeatedly to continue to provide value on an ongoing basis, right? And this is really the holy grail of income. And it typically is not, though, the bulk of your income. So in most of the coaching, consulting, expert-based businesses that we work with, the ratio that you're typically going to aim for here is maybe 5% of your income, 5 to 10% of your income coming from that front end or that wide offer. Again, it's not about making money, it's about creating customers. The middle, very much like a pear shape here, the middle is definitely the bulk. So this deep offer, the core offer, should be 80%, right? 75, 80% of your income is going to come from your deep offer, your core offer. And then this long offer, this continuity offer, is typically going to be the balance, right? 10, 15, 20%. These ratios can, of course, shift depending on your business model. If you're something like a software as a service, right, they're going to be almost entirely continuity unless they have some consulting on the front end. And there are other, author businesses like a James Clear, maybe it's almost all front end and they don't actually do much on the back end. But if you're listening to this podcast and you're, a fan of what we do here at Seven Figure Leap, my guess is 1585 in reverse order there. So 15, 20% long, 75, 80% deep, and the balance 5 or 10% wide is really how your business should be structured. If you can get to a point where your continuity income or this long income supports your overhead or supports your operational cost, that's like a super great place to be, right? Because then the monthly recurring revenue supports everything. And then all of the bulk of the income is actually profit. A more typical and reasonable, scenario is that most of the deep income will support all of your business. The wide income at the top is basically funding your customer acquisition, and then the long income is pure profit, right? So that's more the model that I see most often. So if you have, say, a 20% profit margin, that's, that 80% is coming from that deep offer, and the balance is customer acquisition and profit on the long part. So wide, deep, and long is really the entire offer stack that you need. Now we can have multiples in each of those, right? You may have multiple front end offers. You may have a couple different core offers. You probably don't, but maybe you have multiple long or continuity offers. But my encouragement would be really commit to one in each of these buckets, and you can absolutely grow a seven figure business that way. So our mastermind consists of multiple six figure, seven figure, and multiple seven figure businesses. And pretty much to a person, they all have a very simple business model that's part of what we help them to achieve. And it's also, part of kind of our ethos in the mastermind is that simplicity truly does scale. Complexity kills, right? Like complexity really muddies the waters and makes it hard to know if you're winning. So if you have three offers and they each have, very importantly, one primary function in your business. Again, create customers for your wide offer, create cash for your deep offer, and create consistency for your long offer. And then that is the whole function and structure of the fulfillment side of your business. It makes everything easier, including marketing, which I'm going to record a sister episode to this and talk about the simplest possible marketing plan to sell these three offers to create a seven figure business. To kind of reflect on this and give you a little inside baseball here at Seven Figure Leap, we actually don't have a wide offer, or we really haven't had a wide offer to date. So, we're 4 years into this business. We've been seven figures the last 2 years. And I'd say this is the one offer that's sort of been missing, right? So we don't have really a front end offer. We do workshops from time to time and we do some paid events, but they're well shy of 5%. We often take people through a consultation process, and most people's first purchase with Seven Figure Leap is actually our deep offer. But I am working on a wide offer because I do believe that that's the place you want to be. So for me, I'm working on a book. So I'm working right now on the $100,000 podcast guest. It's going to be a book that talks about our framework and the things that we teach. It's a very approachable DIY foray into this signature topic that we're experts at, which is using podcast guesting to grow your coaching and consulting business. So we will have a wide offer in the form of a book. Our deep offer is definitely our signature thing, and it's been 80+% of our revenue since day one. And that's the Podcast Profits Accelerator. So for us, that's a 90-day cohort based group coaching program that includes a year of support. So, but it is a deep offer, right? Another way to think of a deep offer is it is a specific promise for a price. It's a finite engagement, right? So it's like, I'm coming in for 90 days. I'm going to get this promised result. And we do bolt on some additional support on that. But that is definitely our deep offer, our core offer. And then our long offer is actually the thing that we were doing at the retreat, and that's our mastermind. So the way our model works is people come in and they experience the Podcast Profits Accelerator. They're part of our community. And some people say, I want to go deeper. I want to work with Dustin on a personal basis for more time. I want to scale beyond just the marketing focus and growth focus of the accelerator. And I want to be part of a close knit mastermind with people with similar values and with people with similar goals to scale a seven figure business in a way that they love and that supports their family and their life goals. And hopefully they stay in for the rest of their life, right? But at least they stay in for a very long time and they can make that choice to decide how long they want to stay in. So that's a continuity offer. People pay for that on a monthly or annual basis. And it's solving an infinite problem of business scalability, right? So it doesn't have an end date like a core offer would. So wide, deep, and long, those are the three offers you need. Those are how we've applied them here at Seven Figure Leap. And this is part of what we actually do in our core offer is we help people develop the messaging and the offer stack that will create the business that they desire. And then, of course, we're creating a marketing system around that. And I'll talk more about that in this companion episode. But if you're listening to this and this resonates with you and you're like, I really want a simple business, and I really believe that these three offers is a key part of that, we'd love to help you with that. So if you'd like some advice on that and some strategy specific to your business, you can book a call with us and we will go through a strategic session with you and help you get clarity on exactly what three offers you should have in your business. To take advantage of that, you can go to sevenfigureleap.com/call, and our team will be there on the other end, happy to lead you through these three offers, as well as help you get a really effective marketing plan in place, which I'll talk about in the next episode. So I will see you then, and we'll talk about how to market these three offers to create a six, multi-six, and seven-figure business.